In the top stories, Taiwan Navy training ship is visiting St. Kitts and Nevis with an open day now underway at Port Zante. The 2026 hurricane season could be slightly quieter, but forecasters say the Caribbean should still be on alert. And a miner has been rescued in Mexico after spending 2 weeks trapped underground. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday newscast. I am Jasmine Thomas. A Taiwan Navy training vessel is at Port Zante as part of a diplomatic and training visit to St. Christopher and Nevis. The visit is aimed at strengthening friendly relations and promoting cultural exchange between the two countries. Members of the public will have an opportunity to board the vessel today during an open-day exhibition that ends at 3 in the afternoon. Visitors will be able to tour the ship, learn about naval operations, and experience elements of Taiwanese maritime culture. Live entertainment will also take place along the Bay Road near Rams from 2 until 3:30 this afternoon as part of the day's activities. Officials are encouraging residents and visitors to take advantage of the visit and engage with the crew. Cabinet Secretary Dr. Marcus Natter says work is advancing on a national indoor air quality policy following a forum his office organized in October 2024. The national conference, held at the Marriott, brought together government agencies, health and environmental experts, educators, businesses, and members of the public to examine indoor air quality beyond the issue of mold. Arising from that engagement, a national task force has been established to develop a policy framework to guide healthier indoor environments across the Federation. According to Dr. Natter, the task force has now produced a draft policy that is nearing completion.
The point now where we do have a draft policy, which we will be kind of fine-tuning a little bit. And one of the key things for me, at least, coming from that space as well, when I was at the Bureau of Standards, I learned quite a lot from people like Mr. German Mike and, that about indoor air quality and air quality in general. And so I've taken that on board in terms of what we're doing with the Indoor Air Quality Task Force. So hopefully maybe I shouldn't give a date, but hopefully this year, we can have that policy formalized. The point.
Dr. Natter says the policy is being designed to be practical and accessible with a strong focus on public education, clear guidelines, and accountability. Key issues identified include poor maintenance of air conditioning and HVAC systems, leaks and mold, along with the impact of climate change and outdoor air quality on indoor spaces.
A lot of it has to do with leaks, a lot of it, like I said, has to do with maybe lack of maintenance on what you call HVAC systems, our AC systems, and so on. So those things are pretty typical, but we want to kind of go beyond that, and that's what we're trying to do, go beyond that. But if persons have questions or and so on, they can filter it to me, and I can get it to the right person. A lot of it.
He explained that the task force is also working to ensure the public, including medical professionals, has access to reliable information and practical guidance. On the regional scene, Reverend Ron Daniel of the Wesleyan Holiness Church in Nevis met with Governor General Dame Marcella Liebert at Government House on Thursday. The meeting followed his recent installation as District Superintendent for the St. Kitts District. In that role, he will have responsibility for churches across St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, Sabre, and St. Martin. The engagement formed part of introductory meetings following his appointment to the regional position. And forecasters are predicting a slightly less active Atlantic hurricane season this year, but warn the Caribbean remains at risk. Researchers at Colorado State University are projecting 13 named storms for 2026, including 6 hurricanes and 2 major systems. The season runs from June 1 to November 30th, with peak activity expected between August and October. While overall activity is expected to be below average, forecasters say that does not reduce the threat to the region. Current projections show a 35% chance of a major hurricane affecting the Caribbean this season. Experts stress that even weaker storms can cause significant damage, particularly for small island states. The outlook is being driven by the expected return of El Niño conditions, which typically reduce hurricane formation in the Atlantic. However, forecasters caution that conditions can change quickly and early season projections often carry some uncertainty. Last year's season provided a reminder of the region's vulnerability, with parts of the Caribbean impacted by a powerful Category 5 system, Melissa. Officials are urging residents across the region to begin preparations early and remain alert throughout the season. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has formally recognized Venezuela's interim president in a shift from its previous position on the situation in Caracas. Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers made the announcement at a post-cabinet media briefing. He confirmed that the government recognizes Delcy Rodriguez as Venezuela's interim president. The decision follows months of avoiding a clear position on the issue. Rodriguez assumed the role earlier this year after Nicolas Maduro was detained by United States forces, a development that has drawn mixed international response. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar had previously declined to say whether her government recognized Maduro, repeatedly saying that question does not arise. When asked what prompted the change, Minister Sobers said the issue only arose when it was put to him by the media. Despite the recognition, diplomatic strains remain. The minister confirmed that Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar is still considered persona non grata by Venezuela's Congress, even as plans move ahead to send a high-level delegation to Caracas. Those talks are expected to focus on cross-border gas interests, with officials indicating that engagement between the two countries is continuing. On the international scene, a miner has been rescued from a flood tunnel in northern Mexico 2 weeks after he was trapped underground. 42-year-old Francisco Najera was found nearly 300 meters below the surface after a collapse at a gold mine in Sinaloa. Video of the rescue shows him standing in waist-deep water, telling rescuers he never lost faith during the ordeal. 25 workers were in the mine when a tailing dam burst on March 25th. 21 escaped while 4 were trapped. One miner was rescued earlier and another has died, with searches still underway for a 4th worker. Rescuers located Zapata after more than 300 hours of searching when they spotted the light from his torch. Flooding in the tunnel delayed his extraction, and he was left with supplies while teams worked to lower water levels. He was brought to the surface on Wednesday and airlifted to hospital, where doctors say he is frail but in stable condition. And Pakistan is positioning itself as a key mediator in talks between Iran and the United States, with both sides expected to meet in Islamabad in the coming days. The development follows a 14-day ceasefire agreement between Washington and Tehran, raising cautious hope for a de-escalation in tensions. Pakistan officials say their role has included passing messages between both sides in recent weeks as part of quiet diplomatic efforts, also involving countries such as Turkey and Egypt. The talks are expected to take place under tight security, with additional police and military deployed across Islamabad. Analysts say Pakistan's relationships with both Iran and the United States, along with its proximity to the region, have positioned it to play a more visible role in these negotiations. While previous efforts have been led by Middle Eastern states, the latest move signals a shift in who may help shape the next phase of dialogue. The outcome of the talks could could have wider implications as countries in the Caribbean and beyond continue to watch global energy prices and economic stability closely. We now take a look at the weather. A few shallow pockets of moisture moving through the wind flow will keep conditions a bit unsettled across the area. Today, expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers. Tonight, conditions will remain partly cloudy to cloudy, with that chance of showers increasing to about 60%. Winds will be easterly, ranging from 11 to 28 kilometers per hour. That's about 7 to 17 miles per hour. Seas will be moderate, running between 1.2 to 1.8 meters, or about 4 to 6 feet. Sunset this evening is set for 6:26, and sunrise tomorrow will be at around 6 o'clock. And that brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.